Hi everyone, it's Sloan Rhodes with your spiritual guidance for the week of February 18th, 2018. So today I'm going to be drawing one card from the Chakra Reading Cards by Rochelle Sharman as the overarching theme, and then from the Witch's Tarot, 3 cards, one card in the position of what your heart is, one card in the position of what your ego may try to distract you with based on the overarching theme, one card in the position of what your heart is asking that you explore further, and one card in the position of what we can look forward to regardless. Let's go ahead and get started. And I just want to remind everyone that all readings are available on the podcast, on SoundCloud, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. So you can listen to your readings as well as see them here on the YouTube channel. Okay, here we go. Truth and holistic health under the deck. Working on wholeness as your foundation here. And truth. Beautiful card. I love the scales there. The balance. You know, there is a purity to truth. There is a beauty to harmony, right? We have holistic health, everything working in balance or attempting to come back to balance. It does take a little bit of time, but it's something that we are all working on. In many different ways. And you have to be truthful, you have to be honest, you have to be pure in your intentions, first and foremost with self. So the more that you can get clear on what it is you want, how it feels in the moment when you are engaging in activities or conversations or relationships, that's all information that is providing you with a point of purity, a point of truth, so that you can become more clear on exactly what it is you want. You know, that we have 23 here, which is 2 + 3 = 5, which for me is all about change, right? The intersection before, the intersection of the old and the new, right? So that you have a choice. We always have free will to speak our truth, to be truthful, to be pure in each and every moment. Remembering that the harmony that we seek, the holistic health that we are seeking, isn't something that is achieved one day. It's something that we identify and seek to create within each and every moment, and that creates more and more situations and circumstances so that we are indeed feeling more in balance more of the time. But it does start with the present moment. What feels good in the moment? Does this feel like an honest exchange? Am I being honest with myself or the other person? Where is there dishonesty in my life? Where can I begin to pivot or shift? All right, so let's go ahead and get some additional cards. You know, I think you've heard me say it before, and you already know it intuitively and may have heard it elsewhere, that everything is coming up for exploration. You know, emotions that have long been dormant, secrets that have been buried, whether it be on the global level or on the internal level, the macro and micro always mirroring one another. Everything is coming up for review, for healing, for integration, to transform. And so we may see during the week that there are truths unveiled within self as well as in our external world. It'll be an interesting week. Inauthenticity is becoming less and less of an option for many of us in many different areas. All right, so what can we look forward to in terms of our egos distracting us from the truth, our heart asking that we explore further, and what we can look forward to regardless? 5 of Pentacles in reverse, 8 of Swords in reverse, and the Tower. As I mentioned, everything coming up, right? And sometimes it, you know, what we can look forward to regardless is a shift, as I mentioned. You know, the truth is that point of, from last week, even the point of activation, the point from which we pivot. What is inauthentic? What is truth? Where are we fooling ourselves, and where can we step more fully into clarity? So our ego may try to distract us with the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles energy, another 5. So we have, you know, as I mentioned, quite a bit of change here. We have the Tower, we have the Ten of Swords under the deck. You know, just a lot of despair and the ending of a kind of a bad ending to a bad situation. And the Tower, again, terrifying to look at in terms of what we can look forward to regardless, but actually providing us with that moment of clarity where we can indeed shift into something that's more holistic, right? Something that's more, has more truth, more of the time. It's what we're working towards, we're shifting into. Now the heart or the ego may try to distract us with the Five of Pentacles, which is, you know, small progressional movements towards recovery, let's say. It could be in anything in your life, and it could be in the more global experience we have here. And then the ego may try to distract you with, no, we're making some improvements. You know, things are improving slowly. No need to make a big shift here. Let's just keep going. You know, the ego has that way of distracting us into thinking that everything's going to be okay if we just keep going the same way that we've been going. Because look, we can see these small moments of improvement. Therefore, we don't need to look at the whole picture. We can, because we're talking about the holistic nature of a healthy planet, healthy internal environment, healthy relationships, healthy work environment. You know, those small movements towards recovery, it's like, that's good enough. You know, let's just stop there. Kind of a half-truth, right? And the ego or the heart is saying, no, look further at where you can completely sever the ties that have bound you to anxiety, to fear, to worry. Oh, it's such incredible energy. I'm just getting such a rush in my heart. And the Tower is like, boom, it's got to come down. Things have to shift in a big way. Again, for some of you, it may just be a moment of clarity. Others of you, you may see a big shift in your relationships, in your environment. And for others of us, we may see it on a more global or national or even municipal type of area. It's an energy, you know, these are energies that come through, and we see them in many different areas, including, as I mentioned, the micro as well as the macro. So you can begin to play with these energies more and see them as they play out, whether it be, sometimes it's easier to see them in other people than it is to see them in ourselves, or even see them in circumstances around us. So there's no right or wrong. It's just, for me, for you, it's part of the work I'm doing here is to help you identify these energies within your own lives so that you can utilize them in order to live more fully engaged and with more joy and connection to the divine, so you don't feel like you're all alone or feel like you are just spinning your wheels, right? Wow. Do I want to say anything else? I don't know if I do. So let's talk a little bit about the heart energy with the Eight of Swords in reverse. You have, you know, your heart is saying, look, where can I begin to cut the ties? It can be that you cut the ties in a big way, and it can be that you just make these small little cuts towards relationships or people or moments where you are feeling trapped, where you are feeling as though you don't have a choice. You know, you always have a choice in terms of your thoughts, in terms of your emotions, and you can start there or you can start in a big way. Everyone's going to experience it differently. But the heart is saying, explore it further. Where can you create those changes? Where can you free yourself from the binds that seemingly tie you, but really are just old paradigms, old fears and worries, complexes that you are carried with you through your adult life, let's say, that began in early childhood. You know, we all have issues to work through, and we all have seeming obstacles to our happiness and our growth, but most of the time, I will say all of the time, but most of the time, it's probably more comfortable, we can change them with our thoughts, with our emotions, with how we approach the situation that is a seeming obstacle to what we are truly wanting, which is a greater sense of peace and happiness, stability, safety, holistic health in all areas of our lives. But it starts with the truth. It starts with being truthful with ourselves, being truthful with the people around us, being honest about what we will tolerate and not tolerate based on feelings of entrapment. And are we okay with just, you know, small movements towards recovery, or are we more interested in a greater shift? These shifts can be an internal moment of clarity and epiphany, and these shifts can often be, wow, boom, things are changing in a big way. So anyway, I hope you find that helpful. I wish you much love. It's a very interesting time to be alive, I have to say. And, you know, we have this great planetary ascension happening. So be gentle and kind with yourself and with others as well. Much love to you.